It's Monday, and I know you guys want something lighthearted, and you're like, man, Mr. Ryan, don't hit us with some heavy message that we got to think about and put some work into, and da da da. Too bad. Too bad. I got some good stuff today, and actually, it's just been on my mind since last week, and I didn't know quite how to talk about it until A, I had some conversations with you guys right at the tail end of last week, and then B, driving in the car, and sometimes music gets me, man. Sometimes music just speaks to me, and there'll be a line in there where I'm like, oh, that's it. That's the feeling. That's what I'm trying to say. Happened to me this weekend. Talked with a couple of you guys last week, and I talked with some recently discharged youth over the weekend, and I talked with them about addiction. And addiction, you guys are very familiar with the term, I'm sure, not just because maybe you're struggling with something, but I'm guessing, somewhere along the line you've had somebody that you've been familiar with, a family member, a loved one, a sibling, aunt, uncle, foster parent, somebody has been affected by addiction, and addiction can come not only in the form of drugs or alcohol, but we can be addicted to many other things. For me, I would borderline say that work is an addiction for me, and that's something that I have to consciously fight to not work and to not, because for me the high is achieving and getting a task completed, and then on to the next and on to the next and on to the next. And I just got to go. And I don't stop to slow down and relax and take it easy and listen to my body and listen to my mind and all the things that need to take a break once in a while, right? That's a hard thing for me, but I do think definitely it's an addiction. I struggle to stop with that. And when I do slow down, I'm uncomfortable. And all kinds of terrible, intrusive thoughts start to come in, and I beat myself up, and eventually I just get up and start doing stuff and be productive. That's just me. But you guys, a lot of you might be struggling with, compulsions or addictions to other things. And for those of you that I talked to last week, I definitely heard you on some of the things that you're struggling with as far as addictions or, maybe soon to be addictions. It sounds like they were going, a couple were going that way. And then the kids I talked to over the weekend are definitely struggling as well. But here's the thing, man, I know it's so hard. We've talked about this, you and you folks that I'm referring to and myself, but this goes for anybody, is that I talked with some of you about why. Why is that, right? Some of you said, I just like to get high, or some of you said, I like to get drunk. Okay, cool, but, not cool, but you know what I mean. Cool that's what you think it is, but let's look a little bit deeper, right? What does that high or that being drunk do for you? And on a lot of us, we can really stem back and say, oh, it makes me forget, dulls my pain, helps me sleep because I can't sleep, it helps me eat because I can't eat, all those things, right? And really the root cause is not that you just want to get high or drunk. It's that you're in pain and you're trying to fix pain. Kanye said in a song that happened to come through my playlist this weekend, and I've heard it a million times before. I just never really honed in on it until this weekend. Kanye said in the song Dark Fantasy, he said, the plan was to drink until the pain's over, but what's worse, the pain or the hangover? It's a tough one. Actually, it's not a tough one. The pain and the hangover, I think, are in this context. I think a lot of they're similar, right? Because your hangover, essentially, from whatever you partook in to get rid of your pain. Not only are you now in pain, physically, emotionally, that pain that you were trying to forget, that didn't go anywhere. As a matter of fact, it might even got worse because now you might have burned some more bridges or made some more bad decisions. And so that plan to drink until the pain's over, what's worse, the pain or the hangover? It's all bad, and it all gets progressively worse as you go. And so, man, that struck me, right? So now we got to think about, what do we do if we can't forget about that pain? What do we do? How do we get rid of it? Because it's tough, man. When that stuff hits you, when those memories hit you, or that feeling of, Your victimization, you were abused, neglected, assaulted, you were whatever. We've been through a lot of stuff, you guys. All of us have been through a lot of stuff. And that pain's real, and those memories are really, really tough. So how do we do it? It's hard, but it's possible. And I talk to you guys all about this. I talk constantly about this. You guys are sick of me saying this. But what's addiction? It's a cycle. Cycle. Addiction is a nasty cycle. Addiction might even be a generational cycle. Your parents before you might be addicts. Their parents before them might have had addictions, and so on and so on. So it might be that you're just another person in that nasty, vicious cycle. So what are we doing about that? Are we just going to lay down and let that be our life and say, well, I guess I'm just another generation, and good luck to those after me, my kids or whoever? That's not what we want. We want to break that cycle. We want to break it. We want to be the ones who say, it stops here. It's done. It's over. And for generations after me, I will be the point where it changed. That's being a cycle breaker right there. And that, to me, is one of the greatest achievements a human being can make. I can't stress that enough. I think I say it a lot to you guys, but it's real. So I just want you to think about that and really identify, those cravings that you have for a substance or a relationship or all the things that we get addicted to. What is that really? Is that you just wanting to feel that high, or is it that you are looking to put yourself in a better mood and forget about all that stuff, because it's not going away? Keep that in mind. It's not going away. And drinking and drugging and the things that help us cope in the moment could potentially worsen everything that we're trying to forget exponentially worse, right? Change is hard, you guys. Saying no is hard. Resisting old influences, hard. All of it. It is. It is possible. I did it. My whole family, addicts, and alcoholics, and mental health, all the things. Like I'm genetically predisposed to be all of those things, because every generation before me were those things. But I'm not. I didn't want that for me. And I don't want that for you. You don't want that for you. So let's stop. Let's do it, man. Let's break the cycle. Like, I know it's easier said than done. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, today, done. We're there. It's not. It's a process. I get it. But you got supports here, man. And you got a perfect opportunity in your life to make you don't even see the life out in front of you right now, because it's just not something that you've been able to envision, because you've been caught in a nasty cycle and you've seen what's come before you. You're thinking that that's my future. You're limited. But that ain't it. There's more out there for you. The last thing I want to say to you actually came in another song, and it's pertinent to what we're talking about right now. All of this starts with self-love. You got to love yourself, man. You got to mean enough to yourself to do this. And, is your life going to be just a meaningless, another rotation in that cycle, like the ones before you, like the people that hurt you and who hurt them? Are you just going to be the next go? Are you just going to be the next one up? No, man, you got to love yourself. You got to appreciate who you are and actually form an identity that, damn it, I'm going to be the one. I'm change. I'm strong enough to do this. That took me a long time. I'm trying to get it across to you guys that it takes you a lot less time, because it's going to help you hopefully get that life that I wanted and that I'm still working for a lot sooner. And in that song, Mr. Kendrick Lamar, in the song Poetic Justice, says, love is not just a verb, it's you looking in the mirror. That is, man. There's no more difficult thing to do than to look at ourselves in the mirror physically, right? Because we all critique ourselves physically for some reason. I don't know why we do that, but a lot of us don't like the way we look, and we're our own worst critics on the way we look. But also, when you look in the mirror, you're looking at the human being that you're presenting to the world. And if you don't love that person, then love ain't radiating off that person. And so there ain't going to be love coming back, man. So it starts with you guys. That's it, right? The cycle breaks with you first. You have to love yourself enough to say, I'm done. And so is everybody that depends on me afterward. We're done. I'm going to change lives. I'm going to change the future for everybody. Because I'm one of those, what do you call them? I'm one of those, dang it, it was right there. Cycle breakers. Ha! Gotcha.